Okay, let's look at the power rule. Power rule actually uh, follows this formula. If y is equal to x to the nth power, then the y prime, which is derivative, is n times x n minus 1. Now this one works not only for the positive integers, it also works for the negative integers and also fractions. Uh, the only exception is y equal to x to the zeroth power, which is 1. Only it's constant. So y prime then will be 0. Or you can think of this as y prime is 0 times x minus 1. And that will, of course, give you 0. But what's going on is really this, because y to the zeroth power is a constant. Now, the derivative of constant is 0. Okay, so that's kind of the only exception. And um, whether or not it's positive integer or negative integer or fractions really doesn't matter. It's all just follow this rule. And later on, you'll find this rule actually apply to any real number, not just the integers or fractions. Okay, so let's looking at the the practice problem. Go to practice. All right, let's go. Okay, now here there's two steps. One is that we need to use power rule to find the derivative. Then second is to substitute the value of x into it. So that's why they allow you to use a calculator. So if you look at here, what we have is uh, from the x to the 3 twice. Then that will give us, remember this is our n, so 3 over 2, then x 3 over 2 minus 1. Now it involves the fraction subtraction, which is x to the half. And now we're going to substitute x equal 9 into it. That means we have 3 over 2, 9 and a half. Now, 9 and a half is just square root. So 3 times 2 times square root of 9, which is 3. So 3 over 2 times 3, that just, 3 over 2 times 3, that just 9 over 2, or 4.5. Okay, so let's see if you can take the uh, decimal point, 4.5. Yep, you got that right. So we move on to the next problem. Okay, now this one, just one step. Well, we need to just take a derivative. So what we have there is x 1/4 derivative. So that becomes 1/4, move down to the front. Then x 1/4 minus 1. Now we're dealing with um, fraction subtraction, which gave us negative 3 over 4. So we can plug in that there. We got 1/4, then x to the power of negative 3/4. So that will be our answer. All right, check that. And now this one is, uh, we'll have two steps. First, we find the derivative. Then we substitute -1 into it. Now x -7, so that will be -7 to the front. The x -7 minus 1. So that will be -7 x to the -8th power. Now, x to the -8th power is basically uh, 1 over x to the 8th. And that equal to negative 7 over x eighth. Now, when we plug in negative 1 into it, now negative 1 into it is negative 1 to the 8th. So that's even power. That means this gives us 1. So it's negative 7 over 1 give us negative 7. So we plug in that. Okay, let's do this one. Now x negative 4 prime, that is negative 4, then x negative 4 minus 1. So that's negative 4x minus 5. Or we can write as 1 over x to the 5th. So both answers are good. Let me see. Minus 4 over x to the 5th. That'll be our answer. So we're done with that. Now let's looking at the power rule, the next practice. Okay, so this one, you want us to do a little bit of work to get there. Is that what is 1 over x? Now 1 over x is basically x to the negative 1's power. So if we take derivative on top of that, we know it's just negative 1 x negative 1 minus 1. So that gives us minus x to the negative 6. Oh, sorry, negative 2. And that is the same as 1 over x to the second power. And if you plug 6 into it, is minus 136. So that'll be our answer. So this one we just need to do some actual work. So it's minus 1 over 36. This one then, okay. All right. Okay, same thing for this one is we have to change to the form of a power function. So this one will be x negative 10. So take derivative will be negative 10, x negative 10 minus 1. So it's negative 10 x to the minus 11. Or we can write as 10 over x to the 11. And both are good. So okay, so minus 10 x to the negative 11s. Okay. So that is x to the third and half. Then we do the exponent, this is just multiplication. So that is 3 over 2. So that's what we have. And then we just have to take the derivative. And that gives us 3 over 2 x, 3 over 2 minus 1. That gave 3 over 2. And x to the half, which is square root of x. Now we plug in 25, so it's 3 over 2, 25, which give us 5. So 3 over 2 times 5, which is 15 over 2. Then that give us 7.5. 7.5. Okay, now do the last one. And we got, let me see, I think it's 5. Yeah. So this basically is, when you say 5x2, that means we got x2 over 5. And so we take that give us 2 over 5, then x 2 over 5 minus 1, and that give us 2 over 5 x minus 3 over 5. And that's our answer. So for this set of practice, just basically, uh, we have to do fraction subtraction. So it's 2 over 5 and x to the negative 3 over 5. That's our answer. Okay, so that's what we are done for this section. Okay, and so next time we'll do the next section. All right.